Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use the initials of your name for privacy purposes. How about CJ? And I just read your integrated writing practice test number 1. Now, you surprised me. I was actually expecting an outline, but you wrote the whole thing. So, in terms of your structure and your organization, it was absolutely perfect. Your introduction states the topic of the reading and the lecture. And then in your second paragraph, you begin discussing the points of the reading and then that counterpoint to the lecture. You did that in the second and the third paragraphs. So it was really good. Very strong organization, very complete, accurate response. Now I can say it's perfect in terms of your outline, I think, your organization. And since you wrote the entire essay, I can also give you a score and tell you how you did. So I'm going to put you at I'm going to say to get 4 or higher, you have some frequent or noticeable minor language errors, but they don't result in anything more than the occasional lapse of clarity or in connection of ideas. I'm going to put you right now, CJ, at 3.5 out of 5. That's going to put you at about 22 points out of 30. So you had some problems with your grammar and your word choice. So let me just take a look at an example here. In your first paragraph, you say in that final sentence, the listening passage, you say passages. I would change this to say, you might want to read this sentence with me. I'm going to go ahead and revise it. The listening passage opposes this by saying, meetings should not be longer and more frequent. It is not necessary to read the entire report or company materials, and employees should follow all the steps in the writing process. I would probably revise it something like that. You say by don't make more. Maybe you could say by not making more and longer meetings and not reading all the reports and by following the steps of the writing process. So you had a lot of parallel structure issues in that particular sentence. So let's take a look at one sentence in the next paragraph. You have in that second sentence, the lecture point is limit the number of meetings you schedule. I would revise that. Using the word you is a little bit too informal in academic writing like this. So I would say the lecture's point is to limit the number of scheduled meetings. That's how I would revise that particular sentence. Let's go to another paragraph. You have in that you're using that you point of view quite a bit, which I don't think is the right point of view for you for your summary. So I would change that sentence. You have, in contrast, the listening main idea is you need not read all materials. I would change that to say the listening passage's main idea is it is not necessary to read all materials. Something like that. All right, let's go to your final paragraph. I'll just point out one. How about the last one in the last paragraph? You say the last one, the reading part, you have meanly, that employees, you have don't. I would say shouldn't write. So let's look at that sentence. You have first of all, secondly, and then I would probably here say finally, because you have maybe, how about this? Firstly, secondly, and then finally. Kind of use an ly transition word each time. You say finally, the reading passages, maybe main idea is employees shouldn't write reports and materials by following all the stages of the writing process. That's probably how I would make a change there. So if we go through the entire essay, there are quite a number of either word choice problems or verb choice problems or some type of sentence structure issue that has to be repaired that would make it a little bit better than it is. So that's why I didn't give you 3.7 out of 5, which is 24 points. that would be, for many people, a passing score. So you just had too many problems with a few things in there, which brought down your score just a little bit. But overall, though, the organization and the structure of your essay is very strong. Now, based on a lot of the grammar errors you're making, I strongly suggest take a look at my grammar lesson number 2. I think CJ is good for you because a lot of times in your writing you're not very concise, so that lesson will teach you how to be more concise. Also, go to my grammar lesson number 7 and complete the grammar exercises. Now, keep in mind that there are literally hundreds and hundreds of exercises in this grammar lesson 7, so pace yourself and maybe take 1 hour or 2 hours each week just focusing on grammar lesson number 7. Alright, that would be my advice based on what I'm reading right now. But overall, good, strong organization. Thank you for completing the Integrated Writing Practice Test 1.